Welcome to Random Select. Please enjoy.
Hey, what's going on again, people? This is Random Select, and I want to welcome you into a very special episode. I'm your host, along with other co-hosts, Will, Dave. We also have a very special panel that we want to introduce. We have Clarissa, Diana, Carlotta, Gwendolyn, and Valencia. And today we're going to have conversations with the enemy, the divide between men and women. A lot of people have had issues with saying men are dogs, women they're no good women. So let's talk about it. Let's see if we can get this straightened out, David. So we're gonna start off real quick, getting right into it. Quick questions. Do y'all think that love is the same as it used to be? And I want to start with Clarissa on this one. How do you feel? Has love changed?
I think people's definition of love has changed. I think they use it more loosely than in previous times.
All right, Gwendolyn, what about you? Is love still the same for you, or is just not cutting it anymore like it used to?
It's different. I mean, I compare love like with my mother and father. They've been married for 40 years, and right now you do good if you get past the 2-year mark. So love right now, I think, is more materialistic than what it used to be. It's very superficial.
All right, let me go to my co-host, Will. How do you see love nowadays, Will?
I mean, I don't think anything is necessarily changed with what love should be. Just now, people have just added extra definitions to what they think love is, and folks think love is seeing somebody at the club and them buying them a drink. So I just think people have just started putting a sliding scale. The definition hasn't changed since the beginning of time. We just added new definitions to it.
All right, Carlotta?
I don't think anybody's loving anymore. I think we all running off infatuation and thinking it's love.
David?
I agree with that.
David.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. People text me, love is easy to me. Love is simple. It's never been complex. It's making it complex by making it materialistic. And like you say, adding just things that not necessarily need to be there. Like you say, with the club scene, what you can buy me, what you can give me, more so what you can do for me, not instead of how do I feel about you. That's the problem with it right now.
All right, Diana?
I don't know. I think that's a loaded question. You know, love is defined by different people in different ways. I don't think it's changed. I think the players or the people who are kind of the faces of this new love have changed, and then that warps it for everybody else who's watching it. So it just depends on who you're looking at. But I don't think love itself has changed, no.
All right, last but not least, Valencia, bring up the rear. Let us know how you feeling about love.
I have to agree with everyone. Love definitely has not changed, but generational-wise, in the time that we live in, I think, infatuation plays a part, whereas, if a guy has this and, women so much are looking for what is beneficial for them, it's one of those, it's not changed, it's just the people have.
Okay, well, if the people have changed, which is a great transition right into the next question. If the people have changed and love is pretty much still the same, how do y'all feel about being in the pay-to-play generation? Because isn't the people who has changed that?
Yeah, I mean, that right there is one of those, and I'm trying to say this without being.
No, we want you to be completely honest and say it how you were thinking.
I mean, I don't agree with it, because at the end of the day, it's basically prostitution. I shouldn't have to. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sleep with a man just because you're a millionaire. You can buy me Louis Vuittons and things of that nature. Whatever I want, I feel like I should be find it out and go do what I need to do to get it. But I'm not looking for a man. I'm not trying to be with an individual because of his financial status. I want to be able to go with somebody. I want to wake up in the morning and say, let's just go to the park. let's go to IHOP. We don't necessarily have to go to Seasons 52 all the time or, things of that nature. So I personally don't believe in that.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me say this. Normally, I would just try to be neutral and be the curator here. Do women still want to go to the park? I hear women say that all the time. Do women really want to go to the park?
Rika, I'm extremely simple. I enjoy simple things. And because I have dated guys with money, I've had the best of both worlds. I've had a dude in this income tax bracket. I've had a dude in a very high income tax bracket. I had more fun when I was with a dude that made, $50,000, $60,000. I mean, the life was just simple as heck for us. I feel like I didn't have to live up to certain standards. I didn't have to deal with foolishness, so to speak.
So $50,000, $60,000 considered the broke dude these days. Okay, Carlotta.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm like, I understand it's all a better place now. We're not picking cotton anymore, but
that was an example.
So Carlotta, what's your opinion on the pay-to-play generation?
That's the younger people, and I'm sure some of the older people do it too, but if you're willing on both sides, they're all willing, so that's what's taken over. And for the older people that do want to love, it's not existent because the guys are approaching you thinking that you're willing to trade, and it's just one-sided. If they want to do it, more power to them, but it's, as they said, it's a changing generation, and now everybody's living off the moment. Love takes work. Nobody wants to work. As soon as they don't like how it's going, people move on.
Okay, let me ask you this on a real quick side note, then we're going to bounce this same question to Diane. Do you want to take walks in the park?
Not after 10 o'clock in the morning.
And let me ask you a question. Why? Because as a woman, you took time to get yourself together. You took time to put on the clothes, the makeup, and get the hair right. And you dare not sweat it out, right?
No, you're not going to put makeup on to go to the park. You might be going just to exercise with your mate. But in Georgia, after like 11, 12 o'clock, it's too hot to be walking in the park. But we still want to do it. I think when people refer to walking in the park, we're thinking about the early stages of the relationship, the infatuation part, when you were teenagers and you were broke, nobody had any money, but you just loved the fact that you could sit. I did that when I was young, every night, sitting in the city park and talking for hours. So we still like going to the park, but we want romance behind it. And not when it's hot.
Okay, so Diana, we're gonna bounce that question to you. I don't know how you feel about it. Do you agree that we are in a pay-to-play generation?
Okay, so I kind of need clarity on what is to pay to play.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's quite simply, there's a certain, I'll say, division of women who are not going to address, going on a date unless the guy is in that high income tax bracket, and with the understanding that, if he's going to, take me to Chops or, the Sundial, then I'll be game to, go and give him a little play. If not, I don't want to deal with it.
It's unspoken trade.
Y'all making it too complicated.
Too complicated? What the hell is that?
I want to screw. You want my money. What's up?
Yes,
it's an unspoken trade. You trading and you're going to trade at the end of the night. Y'all got to make it an even trade. That's what they're doing.
Oh no, you know what? No, then absolutely not. So because this is where I'm coming from. If it's just a pure pay to play where it's a trade for me for your money or your whatever you have, then absolutely not. But at the same time, I do believe that I don't believe in the let's come over and let's kick it and men not making an effort to say, okay, I'm just going to do the minimum for you to for me to be with you and spend time with you. It's not buying it, essentially, but it is saying, listen, you're a person I value, and I'm going to take time to plan something for you. And this is coming from a person who has brothers, who has guy friends, who has nephews. So I don't think men should be taken advantage of, but I do absolutely think that you should step it up and try to do your best for somebody, not because it's monetary or costs money, but because it makes an effort. Even if it does say, you know what, instead of taking you to Applebee's, I'm going to take you to something that's a little bit nicer because, you know, I want to treat you. I think that it's okay for men to want to do that, and it's okay for women to expect that from men, but not as an exchange. So I don't know if it's like a pay to play, but definitely step up your expectations and step up your game, I think.
So it's almost sort of like saying, you ain't really paying for it, but we're going to sugarcoat it. Just make it look a little nicer, and at the end of the night, I might be a little nicer to you. That's what you're saying?
I don't know if I'll be a little nicer, but I will be impressed that you did try, yes.
Oh, okay. So be a little bit more nicer to you is the gateway to you being impressed, which leads to you being nicer to him.
I feel like I'm setting myself up with this, but yeah, I don't think it will lead to being nice. You know, I don't know what it will lead to, but it definitely will be. I will be impressed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. We're gonna leave that right there. We're gonna pass it right on to Gwen. Gwen, let me hear your opinion on it.
I agree with her. I mean, because nothing is free, you know. And before they used to court, you know, when you court, you know, back in the days, there's time, whether you invest time, whether you invest money. I mean, it's not that I want anyone that's in a certain income tax bracket, but I don't want a charity case either, you know, because I ran into a situation when nowadays, when a guy asks you, what do you do? And you respond and you say, well, you know, I like to do this. I like to walk in the park. I like to hold hands. No, they're asking you, what type of job do you have nowadays? So then you're setting yourself, because most women, they do make a decent sized income nowadays. So you're like, okay, well, you want someone that's running the same course. It's not that, okay, our monies have to match, but I want a guy that has a basis, have your own car, have your own place, have definitely a job, you know, that allows us to go out. And yes, we can go to Applebee's. That's cool. But show me, if you're trying to court me, if you see this as a potential longevity relationship or a possible marriage, then yeah, I can go to Applebee's by my damn self, you know. So show me something different, and it's not a pay to play. But I mean, at the end of the day, you guys expect us to look a certain way. You want us to, you know, wear so many hats. We can't come just looking any type of way. So we want a man that takes the time out to, you know, like you said, step it up a notch, show us something different, you know, introduce us to, you know, that other side. Don't just treat us like any old body, because you can take any old body to McDonald's, but take me somewhere else, you know, and that's just not a pay to pay. But if that's how it's looked at the end of the day, you're paying something, paying attention, time, or something. So if you feel that way about that person and you feel that person is special enough, why not step it up a notch?
Okay, let me ask you a question. When the guy's doing the stepping up, right? What's your version of stepping up? What's the woman's version of stepping up? Because if I was stepping up, it's kind of upgrade the things we do with you. I mean, how you upgrade what you do for us?
Okay, well, Okay,
go ahead, Carlotta.
We don't need to upgrade. It's supposed to be courting. If you're really looking to get to know someone, we're not trading. So you're saying we should be trading. We're not trading. You don't need. All you're doing is you're giving him a beautiful personality to bond with for the moment on a date. So if
how come his beautiful personality can't suffice?
But in the society says courting has always been where the man takes the woman out. And of course you could do it differently if you want, but he knows when he goes and asks you on a date that he don't expect you to pay for it. So he has to accept the responsibility, like, look, I'm taking you to this restaurant. It's going to cost me $100 for the night, and you don't expect nothing back. Old-fashioned days, you bring her back to her door, she might not give you anything. That's how it goes. There's no trade.
But what I'm saying is, she just saying, go ahead, Dave.
That's why pay to play is one of the oldest professions in the game throughout the history of the world. Why the hell don't spend $100 on you to take you back to your door and say thank you? If I'm courting you,
if that's the case, go get a prostitute.
But if I'm courting you, that number doesn't even reach that amount. We talking, we dating, we having a good time. This whole the first day we're going to the park. This first, second, third dates. Why the hell I be spending $100 on you?
If
for
you think
anything.
she's worth anything, you're gonna go on a date with her and don't worry about the money. If you just think you want some snatch out of it, then you need to just go straight to the girl that's selling it.
No, because after the first date, that's on us. The second date, that's a mutual agreement that we want to hang with each other. We want to date each other.
Oh, so it's time for her to give up the sex.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it shouldn't go from let's go walk to the park to I'm spending $100 to take you out.
Once you ask to go on a date, it don't matter where. It's not no rule that let's go to the park where it's 0. Then the second one will be 20.
And for the record, though, women, y'all choose to put on the men in hats a lot. I told the guys earlier, some men now, I got to tell her to calm down sometimes because she got to understand that I can do things on my own. I'm 41. Before I met you, I was doing things. Before I met you. But it's things that she told you to try to do. Because a lot of women just see I need to do that for stuff to be right. It's just not necessarily true. I can't say that for all men. But for me, that's not necessarily true.
Okay, let's get Will and Clarissa in on this. Clarissa, how do you see it?
I don't think, just to go back when you were asking about does a woman want to go to the park, it's not, for me personally, it's not about the money. It's about the effort. If, when we were first dating, if Will had wanted to take me to the park and do a picnic or something nice like that, a little bit of music, it's the effort. It's not the money for me. It's the effort to show that my time is valuable to him, that he values me. Because if he doesn't, why are we even going out? Like, what's the point if he doesn't value my time? So for me, it's not about the dollar. A guy could take me to Chops and be a total jerk, and I would not be impressed with that. A guy could take me on a picnic that costs less than $20, but if he put effort into it, I would be impressed with that.
But in today's climate, in today's world, let me just say, but isn't the perceived perception that most women equate effort with how much money you spend on them?
No. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Fellas?
Okay, so first of all, let me give all the women on the call credit for not being the typical average woman. I give all y'all credit because y'all answer that not the non-typical average woman. Because the typical average woman looks at the level of day or place she's going or doing as something to correlate with the success, the possible success or impending success of the relationship. To answer the current question we're going through, I said, I don't mind if I feel I want to engage you and ask for time and we go to whatever restaurant, Chili's, Applebee's, Chops, whatever the case may be. At some point, it's not even a pay-for-play scenario, but if I'm putting, as you say, effort into taking you to a nice place, doing nice things, going to a play, doing this, and we've gone on 2 or 3 dates, and I walk you to the door as a gentleman, and all I get is a handshake, and I had a nice time, and you close the door. I mean, I'm not even getting to where we get into a good night kiss or nothing like that. Then at some point, yes, I got to stop. I got to rethink why am I putting effort into something where I'm not getting effort back. It's not to say upgrade. Your effort means you got to dress like a hoochie or you got to do nothing else. But at some point, as a woman, you got to either tell me as a man who's treating you right, hey, there's a possibility of us continuing this and we can still date in good faith that something may happen, or, you know what, we're not vibing. Shake my hand, go separate ways, and that's fine.
Go ahead, Valencia.
So I was just saying, I mean, with that comes in with communication on both parts. And I'm just thinking about, a similar situation that happened with me when I met this individual. When we went out, we went already out. And the first date we went to a regular restaurant. The second date we went on, I think we went to like a barbecue festival or something like that. And as time went on, I posed the question, okay, you've been asking me out just about every other week, where do you see this going? To make sure that, I wasn't misunderstanding what he wanted to do, and I needed for him to understand where I was. So I think if you are seeing people on a regular basis, at some point you may have to just come straight out and ask, okay, what are we doing? If you're unclear. And for me, I asked that question. I wanted to understand where this individual, because of course I was attracted to that individual in that sense, but at the same time, I didn't want to set myself up for anything that I was not ready for.
Okay, and that's a good transition into asking the women, like Diana. What does a typical date consist of nowadays?
You know what? Unfortunately, I think nowadays it's more let's kick it. I don't think people do make reservations anymore. Like I haven't heard a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, we went somewhere where he made a reservation to do something, or he planned something that looked like it took an effort, or even if it's simple, it's something nice." I think people there's a lot of let's kick it, come over, let's kick it going on, which I don't like at all.
What does let's kick it mean? Traditionally,
come over my house, or I'll come over your house. I really feel like that's happening too fast, too soon. People are not making an effort. Someone is over at somebody's house cooking, and you've never gone out anywhere.
And I'm pretty sure you got real strong opinions on this, Carlotta. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think those guys that do that are the ones that are trying to get something without paying. That's the guys that don't want to do the pay to play. That's the cheap one. And you a dumbass woman if you go over there and go sleep with him.
Exactly.
Can't even take you to McDonald's. Please.
Right.
Wait a minute. Time out. Isn't that talking out the side, both sides of your mouth?
No, it's not about the money. It's how he values you. Because if you go straight to his house, go sleep with him, and tomorrow you wonder why he don't call you. A lot of guys will show who they are just for the simple fact of if he keeps taking you out, it shows he's interested. Some of them do trick you and pretend, but at least he's showing you he's putting some effort. But if you just go straight to his house, he don't have to put in effort. Don't be surprised if tomorrow he don't call you.
But y'all put that spin like he coming over for sale. He might really be coming to hang out. Maybe he broke that week and just want to hang out with you. And maybe he wants you to cook for him, or he brings him over for you to cook for him.
I've never seen a guy that go that far. I've never seen a guy that go that far and just want to go home with food in his stomach.
If you make it sexual, that's your damn fault. It ain't his.
No, it ain't about you making it sexual. It's about they always come, and eventually it wants to lead to that. That's why if you don't want that, just don't let them come over that early.
When you date somebody, eventually that's what somebody gonna want anyway. I don't give a damn. It's second date or 18th date.
You let them force you. You have to demand what you want. If you're gonna let him walk up in your house the first time, then don't be surprised when he don't want to take you nowhere and he keep on wanting to come over and watch TV and don't do anything.
Thank you. It's a trap. Once you get to that cycle.
In my defense, I've dated a lot of girls I slept with on the first date, and we dated for a long period of time. Hey, it is what it is sometimes. It depends on who you're dealing with.
And it depends on the personality of the woman and what her morals is and her values.
Yeah. Gwendolyn, chime in here. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm like Carlotta. I can't, if you want to come over on the first day, I mean, because first of all, I consider my domain an intimate spot, so I don't want everybody coming. I don't even know you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know you like that to even give you my address. So let's kick it somewhere else, and that is what a lot of people are doing. Oh, you want to hang out? Come to my spot. They'll cook for you, but I don't want to come to your spot. Because I want to, see how you are outside of the house, and then maybe when it progresses, whether it be a month, there's no time limit, but just on the first day, the first 2 days, I just can't see allowing somebody to come to my house or me going to their house, not for that particular point, because it does set me up for, that was good enough for you back then. We ain't got to go nowhere, because, some guys are homebodies, which is no problem, but just take me out, even if it's nothing but to the park or whatever the case may be, but just not to your house. Just not on the first. You're getting to know me, so let's sit outside. I don't want to be in your house. I just can't do that.
I really wish we would get to a point where women stop saying, let's go to the park. All right, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. That's my outfit. Why,
anything but to the house.
Take you to Brooklyn.
You're so silly.
Okay, Clarissa, come on, chime in here. How are you feeling about? I know you're married, but before you got married, what was a typical date consisting of?
I think a typical date is dinner. I think one thing that men can do to kind of safeguard against like, I guess, gold diggers, so to speak, because Will and I have talked about this, and I never realized it till talking to him that some women will just milk guys for the dates. You know, oh, he's taking me to Chops, I'm going to hang out for a while. So I think it's best to work your way up to those bigger dates. Like, start off with something kind of simple, and then when you're on the third or fourth date, you work your way up to the Chops or up to, you know, the dinner in Buckhead. Then, you know, by that time, you're both invested.
Some of your co-panelists say you should start off with the upgrade right from the start.
No.
Not always the best idea.
No. I'm sorry. I'm just
right there. Go ahead, Will.
I'm just say no, just because, I mean, just for simple reasons. And as we all said, I don't even know you. So if I done took you to some $200 dinner, and I got you out in public on my arm, and you psycho, and you just go crazy in some restaurant, now I've lost $200, I've made a fool of myself, and I've wasted an entire night because I don't know you. So no, I'm not.
So you rather her be psycho in your house?
No, not my house. I'm just saying I'd rather be psycho, I don't know, at the park.
All right. Nice.
Out of curiosity, do y'all know y'all last first date was at? Where y'all last first date was at?
The point he trying to get at is for y'all be saying you want to put so much into making the first date memorable. Half of y'all really truly can't remember what the true first date was.
Okay. No, you don't try to make it memorable off of a first date because you don't know what you're getting. But I think what we're missing is when you meet the guy, you have to get it clear what you're looking for before you start even trying to date. If I meet somebody, I'm letting them know up front that, look, I'm looking to settle down. I'm looking for somebody who's going that same direction. If we agree that both of us are going the same way, then we start dating. So by that time, he's not going to worry how much the dinner costs because we already know what we're looking for.
No, that's a lie. Don't never tell nobody, hey, what you. I don't. This is my theory.
I do it all the time, and so when I date the guy, if we agree, he's not gonna worry about if the dinner costs $80 a piece.
No,
because
it ain't about the dinner. This ain't about the dinner. Like I told another friend of mine, when you tell a guy what you're looking for, guess he gonna give you exactly what you think he's looking for. If you tell him what you want, if he's there for good or bad, he gonna give you exactly what he wants till you get what he needs because you already told him what you're looking for.
But if that's the case and he's just pretending, eventually you will find him out. Eventually you will find them out, and it's the woman's business to make sure you keep everything intact until you see what you're dealing with.
Y'all make it sound so simple.
It is that simple, though.
Man.
I do it all the time, so I know it's that simple. If they feel they're waiting for sex, they will not hang around long enough. Yes, you'll have your dinner, and if they don't want to wait for the sex, they'll keep going. You didn't give up anything, you didn't lose anything, and
I keep trying to tell y'all don't know it long enough is to a guy who's very persistent and I'm going to get this, and this is what I'm going to do. Y'all don't understand.
Okay,
it's guys that's really persistent that'll wait on you.
Okay, with that being said, Dave, with that being said, it's a perfect transition to new. What makes new so appealing? I'm talking about from the woman's standpoint, whether it's new man, new situation, you know, what makes new so appealing? Like Dave said, if he willing to wait for it and you consider new, how long would y'all make a man wait, and how long should a woman wait before she say, okay, she start bragging to her friends, girl, I got me one, you know?
See, I don't know. I guess what make new appealing?
Anybody got a other thought than Dave?
Yeah, go there. Go back there.
New is appealing because you're hoping it's a clean slate. You're hoping that this is somebody with no issues, somebody that's actually normal, somebody that you can actually get a good reaction from instead of all the bad experiences. And that's why we always want new. The same way you want a new bag, a new dress. You know, it's just something new experience, and you're just hoping for the positive from it.
Valencia?
I mean, for me, it is the experience, you know, something different. You know, I don't know, for me.
Exactly. Oh.
You know, the thing, well, you know, and Dave, I wanted to ask you a question. You said something, and you stated that men will wait for a long time to get what is it that they want. What's the longest you've ever waited? Because I know me. If I'm not attracted to you in that sense, it's a wrap. Even if I am attracted to you, I'm not just going to sleep with you on the first night like that. I can't do it. And I hear some of my male friends that say, you know what, I'm going to run this one down. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm that chick that, what?
No, guys are running down, but while they're running you down, they're doing other things on the side. Wait for you to get ran down. But they will wait.
But why would you invest your time? You know what I'm saying? Why would you even waste your time? That is the dumbest thing to me.
Not me, but men.
No,
men
I'm
and women are stupid.
I'm saying.
Men and women do stupid things all the time, and they just
wait a minute.
That's not on the belt for a lot of people.
Let me say this really quick, and let me moderate this really quick. For women and men, let's just be honest. We view time totally different. To y'all, you say, why would you waste time? To us, this ain't nothing but this nothing. You know what I mean? Like Dave said, if we're gonna waste the time to do this, y'all see it as waste time. But while we also running you down, we cheaters. We running everything down on the Safari.
Wait for you. You know what I mean? Waiting for you patiently.
Yes.
Like a lion, talking to her, just waiting.
And the way that sometimes. Yes, and the way the Safari works sometimes is y'all don't want us until y'all see us catch that other deer.
I'm not that chick. I'm not that chick because see, at the end of the day, I value my time. I value who I am morally. I mean, I'm a mother, so at the end of the day, and it really took for my girls to get them to become 15 and 14, and my son to be 17 to make sure that I am acting the way that I'm supposed to, because I can't sit up here and subject myself to this foolishness. Don't get me wrong. I run into players all day, every day that within the first 3 months, they seem like they have their head on straight. But if you wait and pay attention, a person to me eventually is going to reveal themselves. And I ask those questions, and sometimes I have to trip dudes up just to see mentally where you at. And half of the time I'll just come out, so what's up? You trying to have sex? What is it? And if they tell me, well, I do want to just have sex and, I want my freedom. Okay, well, guess what? I can't deal with you because that's not, I don't want somebody who I can just have sex with each week. I don't want that.
That's what you're saying. 3 months ain't nothing to a dude.
But see,
that ain't even the blink of an eye. They'll wait 3 months ain't nothing.
That's right. I'm just saying.
3 months ain't nothing.
But you have to remember that while the guy is chasing her, she's evaluating him. If he's not stupid, she's watching him to make sure where he's coming from. Some woman will look and say, look, I think he's a dog, but I'm still give it up to him because I kind of like him. And some woman will say, look, you ain't no good. This is enough time for me to watch you play this all the way out, and I don't want to be with you.
But a lot of y'all
about human nature, though?
Yeah. Thank you. Because a lot of y'all basing y'all information off educated. I'm going to use the word educated. And non-lustful women. It's women
That's what I was about to say. What about human nature, though?
They just want to sleep. That they want to, like you said, you might be attracted to him, but won't sleep with him. There's other women that's attracted to him and sleep with him immediately. And I ain't saying it's good. Truth be told, I ain't saying it's good or bad either way, because from my experience, on both sides of the coin, I've slept people for one night stands, I've slept people for first night, and I had great relationships with them. I can't go either way, but you got kids. That's a different story. You got to do something different. You got kids. I got a friend named Robert who did the same thing.
I thought we're talking about normal women that's looking for decent men, not women that are female whores. I mean,
that's not.
Y'all always assume. Women always
whore.
Assume. No, I'm just saying, women always assume that a woman who sleeps with the man on the first night, and in our eye, we see y'all as whores. And sometimes that's quite opposite. Sometimes we appreciate a woman who knows what she wants.
Huh? She knows what she wants, but she's a female player.
Hey.
Right? If it works for her, cool.
Exactly.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, for me, as an individual, I like to invest time. I like to be around you. I like awkwardness. I like to just have a moment where we may be out or we may be sitting around, and something that I needed to know about you that you did inadvertently say that I've learned. I'm just quirky like that. I'm not trying to just run out here and sleep with this dude because he's 6'2", cut all up, looking good. I'm not trying to do that. Because
okay, Diane, let me get your opinion. I haven't heard from you in a minute. How you feeling about this? Diana.
This is interesting. I don't know. So, are we still talking about the new?
Well, we kind of metamorph from that. We on this whole, how long a man should wait, and we all over the place. So just chime in on what we currently talking about. The format's been went out the window.
I kind of figured that, so I was like, wait, what are we talking about now? So you're talking about how long a man should wait for a woman?
What we saying is, she's saying that time, can kind of weed out people, and what we're saying, y'all see time differently than the way we see time. Y'all say, oh, we made him wait such and such, so he faded away. But to some dudes, like Dave say, 3 months is nothing. I mean, so time is not the only way you can tell if a man into you. I mean, to be honest, women should really throw time out the window, to be honest.
Really should.
Okay, so if we're going to throw time out, then what should we use?
Personally, I think you should use effort. Effort would, because no matter what your intentions are as a guy, whether you just trying to go, whether you just trying to hunt it down or you trying to settle down, I said, as a guy, you're not putting effort into something you think is just not worth your time. I said, regardless of, as much as I enjoy saying, as much as you enjoy talking about, you may talk about, your money's worth something. My time is worth infinitely much more than my money. I said, wasting my time to me is a cardinal sin. I can't deal with you if you waste my time. I said, I can have a bad date, spend X amount of dollars, and it's gone. But you know what? It's gone. I said, time, I'll make more money eventually. I can't make time back up. Time is just out of sight, out of mind. So,
but that's what the players do. The players are going to back off because they don't want to waste their time.
Nope. No, effort. Not time. The effort with the time. It's the effort. Time can be, like we just said, 3 months. During that 3 months, if all I have to do as a player is to just drop you a line and say, hey, how you doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. And that gets you, back on the hook within 30 seconds. Then that's fine. I've invested enough time for me to text on my phone or drop you a line and keep you engaged. Then I can go back out to hunt wherever I want to hunt on the rest of the safari until I get you to come into my striking distance.
Okay, but that's the key right there, because in that 3 months you're saying drop me a line. Like, you can't, it depends on what you do in that 3 months. Like, you can't text me and give me, oh, what's up, or good morning. Like, it's 3 months of, like, investing, like you said, that effort of, spending time with me, doing stuff with me, getting to know me, and really putting in time. You're not just doing 3 months of popping in between your other hunting sessions. You know what I mean? It's 3 months of, like, really courting me. And so when you say 3 months is nothing to wait, what are you waiting on? What are you willing to get out of at the end of that 3 months?
Let me say,
be honest, Dave. Come on. I'm begging you, be honest right here.
Now, truth be told, this depends on what you look for the chick for. Because some women don't look for chicks to sleep with. They'll never tell you that because you already told you the relationship. So look for the same thing for the next 3 months of a relationship. The same thing. But for some people, if they want a real relationship, they'll wait it out. But I ain't never dated nobody who that I waited over a month for. Truthfully, not one time.
A month for what though?
Sexually, ever, not one time, ever.
Okay.
But that goes back to my point that they're not going to 3 months. It's so much women out there for them to choose from. After a couple of weeks, they realize that you're not putting out. They're gonna move on.
Really, I will give you this though. You're right. It's that new type of dude, not us. It's that new type of dude who could just, feel they got so many choices that they could just go, anywhere and get somebody. So I'll give you that.
But when you say, I don't know what about the new type of dude, because there's the older dudes that you don't expect that from.
I don't know why. It's a difference between. It's definitely a new type of dude.
It's a new type. It's a
new
different
type, but it's older dudes too. It's older dudes that play the exact same thing as guys that's
Papa was a Rolling Stone, came out in the 70s or the 80s. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
I'm just saying. I mean, age has, age really, it shouldn't even be a factor.
It's not.
It just shouldn't.
It's not. So there are plenty of.
I don't mean age. I mean mentality.
Yeah, mostly mentality.
So Gwen, I haven't heard from you in a minute.
Well, I'm on the fence. I mean, I don't believe in giving it up or whatnot. But I can't put a time frame on how long a person should wait to actually consummate the relationship. I just feel you have to, just realize it, no matter what, whether you wait a month, 2 months, 90 days, or whatever the case may be, then 9 times out of 10, the issue is still there. He still may leave you. She still may leave you. There are some chicks, I have a lot of friends, and they say, shoot, if I want to be with a guy, I'll be with a guy. If I don't, I don't, So my thing is, you realize when you kicking it with somebody, when you talking, a lot of times you can find out a lot in a conversation within a matter of 20 minutes. For me, I can find out a lot. And as a woman, something just ain't right. But then you have those moments where you like, okay, I feel I can really vibe with him. And then you ask those difficult questions, spur them, not text message, but those difficult questions. Everybody has this open relationship thing. And you just throw it out there. Hey, you like to, you down with an open relationship? And if you morally are not down with that open relationship, then you already know where they're headed at, so you just back off, say, oh, you a cool person as a friend, you understand? But then there are times when you can date a person for 90 days and you don't ask those tough questions, then, again, they're still showing you their representative, So whether you sleep with a guy on the first night or in 90 days, if they don't respect you on day one, they're not going to respect you after 90 days, in my opinion, because I've always had long-term relationships, but it doesn't matter whether you sleep with a guy on day one or whether you sleep with a guy at 90. You just have to ask those tough questions. And as a woman, if you use your sixth sense, you kind of can know if that person is just full of crap. You really can. If you just pay attention to different things and get them in their element, you can kind of find out if they're dogs or whatever the case may be. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I don't think time you can't put a time, well, you should wait a certain amount of time. That's not going to solve the issue because you still may be without that person. He can string you along for 90 days. You just don't know.
Are we being too technical about this? Are we forgetting that sometimes you meet a person and just no matter what you think about them, they just do it for you? Just do something for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we forgetting about that part of the whole thing? We're answering it like robots. Are we forgetting you might meet somebody and go, you know what, I can't stand her, but God, she turned me on.
But that's what I just said earlier when I said you might be evaluating them and know that man ain't no good, but you decide, you know what, I'm going to go with it. But at least you have control. He's not tricking you. At least you have control. You know you're doing it. He's a dog, but you're going to do it.
But so as a woman, if it goes sideways, do you feel funny at the end because you went in going, I know he ain't right, but I'm going to do it?
You don't expect nothing. You already know what you're dealing with.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So with that being said, trying to get a little bit back on course here. So, can you learn to love somebody that you really don't? And when I say love somebody, I mean that, and men do this too, but I'm just saying I've seen it from a woman's standpoint where you say he's a good provider, he pay the bills, he take care of the kids, but I don't really, he kind of okay. Can you learn to love somebody?
Yes,
I think the word.
Go ahead, Carlotta.
I don't think the word learn is the correct word. I don't think when you're around a person and you feel you're not in love with them, but they work for you, it's better than nobody. I don't think you learn to love them. I think when they're around you long enough and it's a good person, they grow on you. And eventually you transition from I just like you to love you. But you're not learning to love them. You just transition into love.
Rashes grow on you.
Yeah, but I don't think you learn. If that's the case, you could go anywhere and the gold digger could learn to love Donald Trump.
All right, Clarissa, let me get your opinion on this. Can you learn to love somebody?
I think you can, and I think it's based on how that person treats you. Because if you think about it, initial attraction and initial, like you just like the guy because he's a good provider and this and that, all those things I don't feel will sustain a relationship. I spoke with someone once who had been married 15 years, and she said, he's my friend. I enjoy hanging around him. He treats me well. Those are the things I feel that will sustain a relationship, that don't grow old. Like, is that person someone you would want to hang out with if you weren't, just dating that person? Those are the questions I think you should ask.
Okay. Diana?
No, I think you can absolutely grow to love someone. And I think, I come from a culture where that actually is a driving force to say you're not always going to have those fireworks. You're not always going to have that whatever definition of what you think love is. Oh, my gosh, he's like the most amazing person. But if he's a good man and he's a good father and he's a good provider and he's, a good person that you want your kids to grow up to be like, I think sometimes you definitely do grow to love somebody. I think even in situations like arranged marriages that do last, like a lot of people will tell you that, yeah, I didn't love him when I first met him, but I grew to love him. I grew to love the kind of person that he is based on these qualities that really matter. So I absolutely think you can grow to love somebody if they're a good person.
Valencia?
I think there's respect. That's one of those questions. In my opinion, no, I don't think you can. It's just difficult for me to, just have to deal with something like that in a sense. I can't. I mean, I will always have respect for that individual, but to learn and to have that to grow on me, that's not a good look. I mean, to me, I just feel like I'm compromising and just giving up who I am as an individual just to appease the situation.
Okay. Gwendolyn?
I have to agree with her on that one. I know he can be a good person and he has good intentions and he's a good family guy, but if I'm not feeling it, and it's more than just a feeling, but when you truly in love with someone. Like, I love everyone. I love everyone in the world, but to truly be in love with someone, I don't think it's something that I would learn. It's just I know, I know if I'm in love with this guy or not, and that's the only way it would work, because otherwise I would feel I'm missing something. I'm missing out on what I believe true love really is. No matter what type of provider he is, he's a good friend, but he can never fill that void that I really want to have, that I read about in novels, and that's what I want. So, yeah.
And it's not fair. It's not fair to that other individual. It's just like if he's giving me 350% and I'm only giving 50%, I mean, I'm doing him injustice.
Yeah, and they find someone that's willing to give him that he's missing. Yeah, I know there are a lot of good men out there, and as a woman, I have a great friend. He's a very good guy, but as a woman, I'd be like, this is not working between us. My marriage, for example, I was married for 1 year, and he was a good guy, but just was not for me, and that, when you see things, but sometimes as women, we're taught to hold on to certain things for many reasons, never cheated, none of that, but it's just, when you in love, you know that feeling of in love, and you don't want to sacrifice that for nothing, no matter what the price is. That's how I feel, so.
Okay, Will, we're going to go to you.
I mean, I don't know if learn to love is the way I would say it. No, if you're with someone and, you like them and you say it transitions over to love, that's one thing. I don't think you can be with someone who you really just don't care for or don't vibe with and just magically just learn to love them, because there has to be something more there. It's the equivalent of, I don't want to say the fireworks necessarily, but fireworks don't go off if you don't have any kind of lighter to light them. If you just got fireworks just sitting there, they're just sitting there. So if you're learning to love somebody, you just got fireworks sitting there, they're never going to go off if you never have nothing to spark it. So it has to be something there, and it can be a seed that grows, but you just can't have someone that's just because they're nice to you. You know, one day you're gonna love them, because I just don't think it works like that.
I mean,
Clarissa?
it's almost like it's scripted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's difficult.
Clarissa?
I think it probably goes back to your number one question, what's your definition of love? Because a lot of people define love as an emotional feeling only. To me, that's not what love is. Love is based on feelings too, but not just feelings. Love is based on, making a decision to spend the rest of your life with someone. It's based on so many different things. It's based on how does that person treat you? How do you treat that person? You build things together. Like, there are other facets than just feelings. Because in the heat of an argument, you don't feel love all the time when you're arguing with your spouse. But in your heart you still love that person, even though the feelings sometimes go back and forth. So you can't base your life decisions on feelings alone. I don't know if I'm landing with what I'm saying with that. There's other facets of what makes up love, not just feelings.
Right. I agree.
Okay. All right, so with that being said, we're going to wrap it up because it's starting to run a little long here, but I want to wrap it up with one last question to ask. What could change between men and women to try to close this gap, or either try to get it to the point where it's starting to be functional? Because as time is go on, when y'all agree that the gap is starting to be wider between what men and women want with each other? So what could be done, Clarissa?
I think we have to understand each other more. I think a lot of times men expect women to think like them, and women expect men to think like them. And I don't think we really always try to really understand where the other person is coming from, because we respond in a way that we would with another woman, or vice versa, because that's what we know and that's what's familiar. So I think it takes understanding and making an effort to really get where a person's coming from, because we're so different, and we have to celebrate those differences versus just criticize them,
Okay. Diana?
Yeah, I think Clarissa hit it right on the nail. I think it's always important, especially with this men and women thing, and who knows if we'll ever be able to close that gap, but it's important to seek to understand than to be understood. Like, always try to say, well, where is that person coming from? Even if you receive it a certain way, really try to look at it from their perspective. And also kind of going back to what Dave earlier said, to say, well, I'm doing this for you, what are you doing for me? How are you stepping it up? I think at the end of the day, if you truly say, you know what, I'm going to give you the best of me, and regardless of kind of what I get in return, and you have the same mentality, then you're both approaching it with a phase of, I'm trying to understand you and I'm trying to give you the best of me. And I think in doing that, you can find a mutual ground of at least trying to understand where each person is coming from and bridge that gap a little bit better.
Okay. Carlotta?
I think it'll be hard to go back to the old-fashioned ways, but I think that's the only way it will work. Everybody's going off instant gratification. Nobody wants to work for anything. The guy wants the sex, and he figures I'll pay for it, and the woman wants the money. Everybody's just going for instant gratification. So the only way it will work is to go back to old-fashioned courting, which will be a reversal of the mental way how people see relationships, or even if they want relationships. Do they want to get married? There's a lot of stuff that's changing, so you have to go back to the old ways.
Valencia?
Communication and compromise. And when I say that, just piggybacking off of what everyone is saying, understanding what each sex wants. Sometimes you have to have those, tough conversations, just to get a better understanding of what is it that he wants, what is it that she wants. And then, once those conversations are placed on the table, you guys need to come to a consensus. If you can compromise, can you deal with this? Can you deal with that? Are we going in the same direction? Are we going in the same path? Okay, well, you just want to have sex and you want to be in a relationship. Well, maybe we just need to come to a medium and be friends, respect one another's opinions and, outlooks on life, and just keep it moving.
All right, Gwendolyn?
Respect goes a long way, and I do agree with communication. Just be open, honest, and blunt about what you want, and then if that person is able to give it to you, then they are. If not, then it's fine too, you know. Don't be afraid to say I'll move on, and don't waste, because time is something you can't get back anyway. So why waste time beating around the bush telling the person what you truly want, you know. So I just believe in being blunt and honest, and it should work out from there.
All right, bring it on home for us, Will.
I mean, when and it said a lot of best, just direct communication. I said a lot of problems start between men and women because it said we're trying to figure out, you know, we're communicating things in our own head. We're having whole arguments inside your brain before they ever come out and get verbalized. A lot of stuff can be cut real short if you just say, hey, you know, I don't like what you did today. And just talk about it. And like you say, it might be a tough conversation, but if you're with that person, it's a tough conversation, and it's easier to have that 20, 30 minutes, knocked out and done, than to sit there and just let something that was relatively minor, that was only 20 minutes, fester for a couple of weeks, couple of months. Then all of a sudden, when you in the kitchen putting something in the cabinet, it's like, all of a sudden, like, why you put that in the cabinet that way? And now you got a 3-day argument over something that was done, but unbeknownst to you, there's an issue that's been floating around for 3 months that you never heard about, and you can't fix anything if you don't know it.
Okay, all right. So anybody got any final thoughts that they just want to put out there that we might have missed in the show, or something that they didn't get off their chest, or anything like that?
I want to say one thing, because I say, women, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Men are simple. We're nowhere near as complicated as y'all think we are. I said, so generally, if you want to know something, ask the question. You're either going to get an answer or you're not. But we're real simple. We're nowhere near as complicated as any magazine or self-help book or advice column makes it sound. I said, men are about as simple as putting a wheel together. So just let you know.
Any rebuttals?
That's the man that wants to really be in a relationship. What about the guys that are all just scheming? Can't just ask a question.
But that's simple too, because like as you said, if you ask questions and you start hearing a whole lot of, like you said, you know, your spidey sense tells you when something isn't quite right. So instead of hanging around thinking it might get quite right, chop it off at the knees. Move on. Like I said.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I said. You take your time to figure out who you're dealing with.
All right. Anybody else? This is the time to get it out there. Some stuff you forgot to say or wanted to say.
Women are not as complicated, at least, I don't think we are. I think with women, we just require communication. We don't like to be left in the dark. Men, one thing I've learned about my male friends, they're logical. They just want to know what the problem is and fix it. However, sometimes as women, we are emotional. Like Will said, we will play the whole scene out in our head. And then once we have to have those conversations, it may not necessarily turn out. But I just think, if men and women learn how to communicate more effectively, that will eliminate half of the problems.
But what if when you dealing with a woman and women are say, makes, little suggestions that what you should do, but we don't always understand what's going on, because a lot of women feel like you guys can't come directly to us and just say what you want to say, like Will said. Sometimes there's no need to beat around the bush. There's no need to try to infer anything. Just say what you want to say, period.
And you should. A woman, if a woman can't come out and just say what she really means or say what she wants, then that's an issue on her behalf. But I just don't believe in sugarcoating it. If I want you to paint the room green, baby, paint the room green. I'm not going to give you what I think it should be paint the room green.
Now, wait a minute. Let me backtrack a little. It's a difference between saying what you want to say and talking to him like he's a little boy.
Well, I understand that, Rico. But I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an example. You're saying that, women, we kind of infer and we tiptoe. I'm just saying at the end of the day, if we feel like it's something that we would like for you to do or we need for you to do, it shouldn't be, we shouldn't have to work our way up. Well, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do that. I should be able to say, okay, let's take a vacation. Let's do this. What do you think about doing that? It shouldn't be a gray area. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we're going to leave it right there. We had a really good conversation. It got heated for a minute between Carlotta and David, which is, I wanted to really let it go, but I decided to step in. But we want to thank everybody for listening to the Random Select. You can catch us on randomselect@gmail.com. That's Random Select with 2 T's. Catch us at Twitter, Random Select, 2 T's as well. And we want to thank all our panelists. We want to thank Clarissa, Diana, Gwendolyn, Valencia, Carlotta, and Dave. And the Random Select is out. Thank you, people.
You have been listening to Random Select. Thank you. Goodbye.